return again. This captivity ain't permanent, no. I'm from Jerusalem. Hey, we'll return again. This captivity ain't permanent, no. Sitting on a
Salama family.
Shalom, everyone.
How y'all been? I know it's been a minute, so please don't beat us up too bad in the comment section. Been a lot going on here on the continent.
Yes.
We've been extremely busy. I thank you guys for your patience, but check it out. We got to show some love to the family. Tonight, we have got a great conversation tonight. If you guys are in the Tsiyon Ministries live group on Facebook, you have seen our sister. She's been posting pictures and videos of her new life in Uganda.
Yes.
And so, let's just go ahead and bring her in right now. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let y'all see who it is for yourself. Salama, sis, how are you?
Hello, everybody.
Yes. So, sis, how have you been?
Good. Busy and good.
Gotcha. We understand that. We understand.
Yes. So, sorry.
Oh,
I have to ask, first question everybody always wants to know, how do you guys like Uganda?
I love it. It's actually, the weather, first of all, is amazing. We haven't had any day less than like 65 yet. And we haven't had a day more than 89. So we've been chilling in there for the last 5 weeks.
wow. Did you say 65?
Yeah. So when it rains, it gets to be 60, like around 65. And then the hottest it's been is 89.
Wow.
Wait, you mean Africa's not always hot like they told us when we were back in Babylon, that it's just hot all the time?
No.
That's amazing, because like I honestly I miss having the cool weather sometimes,
Yeah, because we came here from Atlanta. So where we were at in Atlanta,
well, the top part.
Yeah, we were in a place
like
called Marietta. And so for 8 months out of the year, it was cold. So
yeah. So I kind of miss the cold weather. I don't like for it to be cold for a long time, but 60s, I miss that. I really do.
So we coming to visit.
Hey, come on. Like, I'm trying to get everybody to come visit everywhere in East Africa. Because, I mean, why not?
Right.
Mhm.
I hear you.
So let me ask you this. What made you guys choose Uganda? Because, we have so many YouTubers talking about, so many different places. Tanzania, Ghana, Senegal, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Namibia.
Okay.
Not Namibia, I'm sorry, Zambia.
Pretty much every one of those countries was on our list. I'm be honest.
Gotcha.
So it started with Ghana. They were our dream for actually, we started wanting to leave the U.S. when we were watching Darby before he died. So this had to be, so I was pregnant with my son. So he's 6 now. So like maybe 7 years ago, we started looking at Ghana, and, we were like, maybe we should go, maybe we shouldn't. So we just kind of put it on the back burner, bought a house, did all the American things. And then I want to say COVID hit. And then our family, we didn't get the shot. So like our family was like poo-poo on you. I'm good. We stopped getting invites to different things and stuff like that. So we were like, okay, maybe we should consider it again. And then, we put it on the back burner again. And then we felt a strong calling. I want to say it had to be like September of 2022, like around then.
Okay.
And it was funny because people kept harassing us to buy our house. And we were like, what is happening? We've been in this house for 4 years. We've gotten like mailers, but nothing major. And now suddenly our phone's blowing up. People talking about they want to buy our house. So we start looking into that. And then while we were trying to get, buyers and stuff like that coming through, we thought we were going to go to Tanzania. And then my husband Julius is just like, I don't know, Zara, it's not sitting good with me. He's like, I don't have peace about it. So I'm like, okay, where else should we look? We looked at Zambia, and then we realized that they were in debt to China, and they had just China had called the debt or something like that, and we didn't know what that would mean for their economy. So we were like, no. And then Zimbabwe, with the sanctions that the U.S. has so heavily on them, we were like, no. And good thing we did, because now you can't even get a visa to Zimbabwe if you're a United States citizen.
Right.
So then we ended up choosing Uganda. I started like researching them heavily, and we found out that you can own freehold land here even as a foreigner.
Nice.
And their kitchens are kind of like U.S. kitchens, which seems like such a small thing, but it was major to me.
So guys, until you come to the continent, you won't understand.
You won't understand. You'd be surprised the things you were like, dang, I wish they really would switch this up here, but
Yeah,
I hear you, sis. I hear you.
I'm like, if I'm gonna be up in there, because okay, the food is it's
different.
Yeah, it's not hitting. Like I want to just fly Granny in real fast. You know what I mean? Like, help me out just a little bit. It's so we're cooking most of the time. So if I'm gonna be in the
Gotcha. Same
kitchen,
here.
I want it to be like I want it to be.
Right.
I understand completely. So let me ask you this, because I know a lot has been going on. Well, I don't want to say a lot, but Uganda has been in the news quite frequently lately.
Because they've taken a very strong stance against the alphabets, and we salute the president there for that.
Right.
Right.
But we also know that, that Babylon didn't like that. And some other alphabet people showed up over there last month now. Unfortunately, people lost their lives. But what we wanted to ask you was, being there in Uganda, how did that affect the people across the country?
They don't really seem to care. I'm gonna be honest. We've talked to, I want to say, maybe about 8 or 9 people about it, and they agree wholeheartedly with the president. We have one guy who was like, we don't really care. Like, you do what you do. As long as what you do doesn't affect me, I don't care. But other than that, everybody else seems to agree with him wholeheartedly. Uh-oh. Did I lose you guys? Okay, so I guess I'll just keep talking until they come back on. So what else? They chose to, something that happened after the bill was passed was the president got sick. And I was nervous that something had happened to him, but it seems like he's better now. So I'm happy about that. Let me just message them. Just 1 second. I'm trying to see what's going on.
Shalom, family. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, so we apologize. The power just went out here at our house. So
As y'all can
everything shut off. Now it just
just wait.
okay, it just came back on. The joys of Africa.
Man,
So
that was my life
family,
yesterday.
Forgive us.
Right? Okay,
Oh,
so we were saying, Abba, give us favor.
Yes.
How is the climate there in Uganda right now with everything that has happened recently
I'll be right back.
in the news?
It's fine. Like people are fine. The only thing, and I was sharing it with the viewers, is the only thing that I was concerned about is like right after the bill passed, the president fell sick. And so everywhere you go, you see get well soon, get well soon. And I was, giving the side eye like, oh man, like what's going on? We didn't experience this before, but he's fine.
Okay, hold on 1 second, sis. You were kind of choppy there for a moment. Okay. So can you repeat that? I do apologize, sis, and y'all, I apologize. Can you repeat that? How's the climate again?
It's fine. Like nobody really cares. The bill passed. Everybody seems to be happy with it for the most part. And like I was saying, the president got sick after the bill passed for like 2 weeks. And so we were worried that, somebody had done some funny business, but he's fine.
Gotcha. Okay, everybody in the chat, if it sounds choppy to you, give us a 1 if the video sounds choppy.
Oh no. I can tell you that this has happened yesterday. We had power off and on all day. Supposedly that's supposed to be rare here in Uganda, but it was very frustrating. So I understand what they're going through.
All right, family. I don't know if it's her internet this time, but I know ours went out for a minute. We're back. Can everybody hear us okay in the chat? Put a yes if you can hear. All right, sis, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
I promise you, we're going to get regular internet in our house this week.
Okay. So we're going to move on to the next question.
Okay.
You know what's funny? And I'm excited. The reason why I'm laughing is the enemy must be real mad about what the stuff we're talking about.
Maybe some people need to hear about Uganda.
Yeah, I guess some people need to hear about Uganda and they don't want them to hear it.
So it's definitely our internet.
All right.
So,
Don P said he's got an echo.
okay. Does anyone else hear an echo?
I don't hear an echo.
I
Okay.
don't. So I know you say everybody's cool in Uganda. You guys were worried for a couple of weeks, but the president is good. So the climate there is good, which is what is expected. Because even when you hear about certain things here in Tanzania, people are like, "Oh, what's going on?" And I'm like, I didn't hear anything about it. You know, nobody pays attention to this stuff here. People just live their lives, you
Right.
know. So I'm glad to hear that.
Now, before our internet cut out for the third time, I saw in the comments people were asking what part of Uganda are you in? Now, so it's up to you if you want to share what part of Uganda you're in. But
Sure, we're in Kampala right now, or we're in a suburb
Okay.
of Kampala right now.
Okay.
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 And so you guys have been there for how long?
We're going on our 6th week. Yeah, 6 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys are brand new.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, was this your first time to the continent, or had you guys visited other countries before?
This is my first time. My husband's been here before. He's been all around the world though. So, but for me,
Okay.
it was my first time.
Okay, cool,
Okay.
cool. So, I would say this, like, being there, how are you received by the people there? Because I know that's one of the biggest questions that people ask, like, how are you received? Are they welcoming? How is it there with the people?
Okay. So, I'll just give you stories because I think that's probably the best way to say it. When we first got here, like fresh off the plane, first of all, we come with our ball caps on, our Kansas City ball caps, right? And we stick out like sore thumbs, right? And so everybody else is going through immigration. There's like a line forming, and this guy just like rushes through and it's like grabs us, come with me. And I'm like, who's this man? Like, do we know him? Is that the driver? Like, we don't know who this guy is. So he like rushes us up to the front. He's like, hurry up before the line gets longer. And he like has his own personal guy, like his friend, get us through immigration real fast. And then he's like,
Wow.
like he's holding the babies up so they can get their visa picture and everything. Like I was like, what is happening? It was just very overwhelming. And then
Right.
so we get through immigration and we get out and realize, oh, this guy's not our driver. We don't know who this man is. Like who is this guy? He's just helping us for no reason. He's like, what did he say? I knew you guys were Americans. I want you guys to get through real fast. You know, just gave him a little money at the end. He didn't ask for anything, but you know, we figured that's what he wanted, right? So gave him a little money at the end and that was it. Right. So other than him, we've talked to a lot of people and what they ask is, do you know if more people are coming? And I'm like, I know people who want to come. You know, they're trying to get their affairs in order so they can come. I don't know if it'll be Uganda, but they do want to come to Africa and they're like, good. Yeah. One specific example is I was talking to one of the ladies who owned one of the Airbnbs that we went to. And like she took me to the mall or whatever, because that's what they do. Like they just hang out with you for no reason. Like in America, there's usually a reason why they're hanging out with you. She's just like, okay, let's roll. And we went to the mall. And she was like, I want you guys to come. She's like, we're suffering under the other nations that are here. Mostly it's, what's it called? Indians from India. And they said the Chinese people are pretty cool. And then like the NGOs that are here from European nations and Western nations. So she said, we're suffering under their leadership. We can't wait for you guys to come. Like we need American leadership. Or we need Black American leadership. That's specifically what she said, but she's like one of 4 people that have said that to me. They're all wondering when we're coming, or they'll be like, why do you guys stay over there? What is the point of staying there? Come here, like come home everywhere we go. Like, are you guys coming home now? Are you staying here? Stuff like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. And, you know, we have found that it's like that for some that we have met, it's kind of mixed reviews. We haven't heard anybody say, "Oh, go back to America now." For the most part, we've heard the same thing. Like, you guys come home. Like, you don't have to stay there with everything that goes on. Come, you know. So I think a lot of the African nations, the people there, they're starting to realize, like, we have to unite again for change to happen here on the continent. So that's really awesome to hear that the people, they understand that we have to come back together.
Right. So, sis, let me ask you this. Being there now, I know you've only been there 6 weeks, but what were your expectations compared to the reality once you arrived?
I thought it would be, let me say, like, I think, first of all, I thought I didn't really have expectations, but I thought it would be a lot smoother, like getting stuff done would be a lot faster. But we've run into a few hiccups because, like, we had an attorney that was supposed to help us start a business, and he was taking forever. And we were like, what is happening? Like, what's going on? We're just wasting time in the Airbnb trying to get business done. So there was that. And then we ended up learning we could just do it right through the government. And that was a lot faster and it was much cheaper. Sorry, that's my husband right there.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Shalom, brother Julius.
Would be better.
Gotcha.
Man.
So you guys
That's
started a business.
That was a surprise.
Gotcha.
So you guys have started a business in Uganda.
We have two
businesses.
All right.
Yeah.
That was really fast.
Yeah. So tell us about the businesses you guys have.
Okay, one is a holding company, and it's just the one that's gonna, all the businesses, plural, would be underneath that company. But the one that we're working on actively is called Ubora Safi, which means pure excellence in Swahili. And salon, I don't know what he's talking about. What's it called? So Ubora Safi is a sausage company. We're going to specialize specifically in turkey and chicken sausages in the beginning, in phase 1, and then eventually we'll move to beef. That's down the line. But we're going to focus specifically on breakfast sausage because there's no company here that does that.
Gotcha.
Okay.
It's funny you say that because, babe, what I just told you I wanted, I think it was 2 days ago. I'm like, babe, I don't know why I'm having like a craving for sausage. Sausage patties, to be specific,
Right.
because that was my go-to, for breakfast. But
it's a little different over here. A little different,
Yeah.
So I know you said that when you had a situation with the lawyer that was taking a long time, but obviously you got all that worked out. So for those who are watching this or those who are going to watch this after it airs, what is the process in Uganda for opening a business? Would you say it's pretty easy, or just walk us through that?
Okay. So most people go through an attorney, and the attorney does all the, I guess, heavy lifting for you. But it's not really that it's hard to do. It's just that it's time consuming. So in our situation, our attorney was taking way too long. So we actually went by accident. We bought a vehicle and we had to register it. So we ended up going to the government to get the car registered. And we couldn't get it in our name because we're not Ugandan citizens. But the lady was like, if you get it under your business name, then you can do it. And we were like, whoa. You can do that here? And she's like, yeah. And so she referred us to literally her desk partner, who she's like, yeah, I start businesses all the time. I'm like, oh, okay, we can just skip the middleman and go through you. It ended up costing 20,000 Ugandan shillings, which is like $5.78.
Wow. I'm coming to Uganda.
Gotcha.
There was no corruption. That's one thing I hear in other countries that's a problem. Yeah, it was, we were foreigners. We started two businesses. It cost us $5.78 a piece. It just took days. That's the problem.
Wow.
Is so it took, we went there, we had to do the name search, and then it took 24 hours for the name search to be performed. One of our names got shot down, which is why we ended up choosing Yubora Safi. And then after that, you had to basically declare how much you were going to invest in the company, and then they make you pay what's it called, preemptive tax based off of what they think you're going to end up owing at the end of the year, which was very small too. It was like it was less than $80 for the tax. And then after that, we had to like fill out a form for our address because we didn't have an address until you registered the business. And then after that, it took like 2 days. So it overall, the back and forth took maybe a week total.
Okay.
That's awesome. And you guys are able to handle it yourself and no corruption. You don't have to grease any palm
Right.
or anything. That's amazing.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
But it's helpful
Yeah.
if you do. I'm be honest. we didn't.
Right.
We
You don't
haven't.
have to grease any palms.
Right. You don't have to, but it's always nice to make a friend,
Right. Catch more flies with honey, right?
Right.
Right.
Okay. That
We haven't
that
had
is
to yet.
really
But if the situation arises, we'll buy somebody lunch or something.
Right.
gotcha.
Right.
So I know you say foreigners can own land outright, so you don't have to put the land under your business name in Uganda.
No. So they have
Okay.
freehold land. You can get untitled land, but from what we're hearing, that's probably not the best because you could, build a structure on the land and then somebody comes in like, hey, that's my tribal land. And then you have to go fight them for it. And we don't want to do that. So you can buy public land. Some of the public land you can own for 99 years. And then other public land you can own outright, freehold.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, for those of us who don't know what freehold land is, could you please tell us what freehold means?
Freehold means that you own it as long as your legacy continues to have the land and not sell it. There's no taxes on it after that first tax payment, ever.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
That is really cool to know. So let me ask you, what about residency, citizenship, dual citizenship? How did the residency process go there, and how much was residency there?
Well, we don't have residency. There's a time period. I believe it's 5 to 7 years. When our business blows up, we can do the investor route, which is shorter. It can be as little as 3 years. But so we're still working on our permits for working. So there's several ways
Okay.
to do it. So you can do just a standard business route, which is $2,500 plus your attorney fees. Yeah. And then there's also the one that we are trying to apply for, which is agro processing. They need it so bad that they reduced the price to $400 a year for your work permit.
Wow.
So it's significantly cheaper if you're coming into agro processing, but Africa needs that badly. So if you know how to do that, you should consider coming here. No, did we lose you guys again? Is it frozen on both sides or just frozen on their side? Okay. So I guess I'll talk more about agro-processing. Okay. So the reason why we chose to go into agro-processing is because so I did all this research, right, to figure out what kind of business we wanted to do. And in my research, I found reports from the Netherlands, I think it was, and the US, of course. And then I saw reports from Tanzania and Ghana. And one of the things that they said that they needed overwhelmingly was agro-processing. Like for instance, 70% of the tomatoes are grown in Tanzania go to waste because they just go bad. So when we were looking at going to Tanzania, we were considering doing like tomato paste or tomato sauce there because you can get them for relatively cheap because so much goes to waste, especially when tomatoes are in season. So just some information, when I looked up the machines to be able to do that, it was around $20,000 to get them from China to Tanzania landed. So everything there would have been about $20,000. What else did we look at? We looked at, there were so many different things. We did tomato paste. I'm trying to see if my husband's still on. He can help me remember what else we were going to do. There was tomatoes, and then I can't think of anything else right now. Oh, just meat processing in general. Hi.
Hey. Thank you for, taking over the show for us while we were out.
So
I had to go on a lunch break. I got really hungry. So I was like, sister's doing a great job. So I appreciate you. I don't know what's going on with this internet tonight, y'all, but I think you've been doing a great job.
Yeah. So, we appreciate that.
Look, y'all know she got a YouTube channel coming out, so she's just practicing. She just getting ready.
I'm not practicing, not yet. I don't know. I'm just trying to keep it moving. I don't know.
I hear you.
Gotcha. So, I was saying about you guys are still in the process. So you guys don't have to leave every 90 days.
No. So after 90 days, let's say that our work permits don't come back in time. Then we would get what's called a special pass or special permit, which would allow us to stay for an additional 90 days. If by that point our work visas are not processed, then something went drastically wrong because it only takes a week to get them after you get all your business stuff set up.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. What is the cost of living like? Because I know that's one of the things people used to ask us all the time when we first got here to Tanzania is what is the cost of living in Tanzania? So what is the cost of living there in Uganda?
So I guess it depends on how you shop. Because if you go to the grocery store, you're going to be paying more, still way less than the US. So for instance, because there's 6 of us, we are a Costco family. We go to Costco faithfully every 2 weeks. I'm going to say more than that, right? But 2 weeks. And on average,
you're a Costco superstar.
Yeah. Our grocery bill was around $330 every 2 weeks. Here, I can go to the grocery store and spend 200,000 shillings. Let me see what that is in US. I'm still getting used to it, y'all. That's $54. So that's the grocery store if I load up.
Wow.
Then if I want to go to the fresh market, which is all the different vendors and stuff, they're usually along the street. Sometimes it's organized, sometimes it's not. And they'll have all their vegetables and stuff out. Then that will cost me, if I'm spending 20,000 shillings, which again is $5.78, I'm a little upset with myself if I spend more than that.
Wow.
Hey,
yeah.
Wow.
And people over there paying I don't know if they still doing it, but you remember when they was paying $13, $14 for some eggs?
Man, no, like when I left,
So
eggs had dropped and they were still $11. Here, eggs are, I can buy a 30 pack of eggs. I saw it today for 10,000 shillings, which is $2.72.
Yep. Same thing here in Tanzania.
yeah.
Right.
So what about housing? Like how much does it cost to rent a house out there?
I know you said 6 of you, so you didn't
Yeah.
want a small place. So
No. So, okay. So, okay. So it depends on where you're trying to live. If you're trying to live in city center Kampala, you're going to be spending like 3,000 a month if that's what you want to do. We ain't about that life. So of course we came on out to the to the outskirts. We're still paying more than we'd like because we're paying 800 USD a month for this place. But we could have had a place for much cheaper, and our next place will be much cheaper. So
Gotcha.
like I want to see like our next house will probably be I think it'd end up being like $1.5 million to 2 million shillings a month, which is so
about
1.5.
$400 and something dollars.
Yeah, it's yeah. Because well, let me see. Because we're trying to get it below 5, so somewhere in there. But that would be a 5-bedroom house. Like our house here is 4 bedrooms, and it's ridiculously big, like way too big.
Right. Now, everybody that's listening, because I know everybody kept hearing so much about Tanzania, but we're just telling y'all, you can get you a very nice house for cheap over here. So you're hearing it from a sister who's over in another country. She's not in Tanzania, she's in Uganda, and she's telling you the same thing we've been telling you. There are nice houses for good prices over here.
So Uganda is actually, from what I'm hearing, it's a little bit cheaper than Tanzania.
I've heard it is too.
That's from yeah.
Mhm.
I think what I heard was 1 USD was about 3,800 Ugandan shillings versus 1 USD is about 2,300 Tanzanian shillings.
Yes.
So it's a bit cheaper in Uganda, a bit more cost effective. I'll say that in Uganda.
Oh no. Yes, it is more cost effective in Uganda. Plus, I think that it's their policy to make food really, really cheap. And plus, with the rain and all that, food is just in abundance. And so, especially for food, that is very, very cheap. But when you start going into like imported things, things can get really expensive really fast. Let me just think of something that we've purchased. Like vehicles are very expensive. We were looking at we thought it'd be much cheaper. First of all, we're looking at buying what was it? A Prado Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. And it was a 2020? We looked at 2020 and then like 2012s. And those were like, the Land Cruiser Prados were like 70,000 USD for like a 2012 vehicle. So those like imported things are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is like the same thing here. So since everyone sees, we're having issues with power and internet over here.
And
so
it's been storming over here.
Yeah.
So that's probably why we're bouncing off of 2 different towers and both of them are acting
Yeah.
up. So
our next question is a great segment into this. Do you guys deal with power outages, internet outages, water outages there in Uganda?
So we have dealt with power outages. We had so 2 nights ago, the power went out. Everybody else in the neighborhood, well, on the other side of their street, they got their power restored within 2 hours. We were still waiting. And we ended up having to make a phone call to a friend we made here in Uganda, which is actually our business partner here. And he was able to make phone calls and get everybody else's lights on. So he fixed our power line And then he got everybody else's on our side of the street, their power back on. And then it kept going in and out, in and out, in and out. And then today it finally settled. But that was the first time we really had a major issue since we've been here. We haven't had any water outages. And if we were to have a water outage, a lot of the houses have boreholes too. So you would just tap into that. And then what else did you say? Power out, internet? No, we haven't had any internet outages at all.
Okay, because your internet seems to be a lot more stable than ours.
It's great. Our internet is it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 3G over here.
Oh no, we're dealing with 4G.
So,
Yeah.
gotcha. They just rolled out the 4G over here. But do you have home internet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we pay for it every month. It's like it's 120,000 shillings, which is
Okay.
$32 a month.
Okay, that's not bad.
The internet over here is pretty expensive because I think we're going to be getting it this week because we have no choice anymore. Yeah. But
we were using our phones, the internet signal off of our hotspot. So
we're sitting at about 160. So it's literally about $50 a month over here for internet. So I wasn't expecting internet to be that amount, but it is. Yeah. So my last question for you. Well, I have two more questions. I don't know. My husband.
Let me ask the first one then, and then you can ask yours. Kai, I saw your post on Facebook about all the different opportunities. What opportunities have you and your husband seen just, while you guys have been there? Because like we tell people here in Tanzania, you can just throw a rock and there's opportunity to, own a business here. Is it the same thing there in Uganda?
Yes, absolutely. So it was described to us like Back to the Future. Like, so imagine all the industries that are like killing it right now in the US. And then you come here and you're like, oh my God, I got a cheat code because they have none of that. So like there's no donut shops, there's no cookies shops. There's, if you had any kind of Kinko's experience, like mailbox, etc., killing. You could do a travel agency here that would be played in the United States, not here. Anything, like literally anything, which made it so difficult to narrow down what we wanted to do because they need so much. And then like restaurants, like if you just drag Big Mama from the kitchen, put her on a plane, millionaire, instantly, just millionaire.
Yeah, I hear you. I see your husband said rental cars.
Yes, none. There aren't any. And okay, so
wow.
They could make so much money.
That's really interesting because I know Uganda, they actually manufacture some of their own vehicles there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's none.
No rental car.
No, usually if you want to rent a car, you need to know somebody who has an extra car. And who just has an extra car? Nobody has an extra car like that.
Gotcha. Now, two things, because we're talking about cars. Do you guys have like Uber for ride share there or any ride share companies there? They do. Uber's here. Okay, so there's like Safe Boda, and then there's just, your regular Bodas. There's all different kinds of ride sharing stuff here. Gotcha. That's cool. So what is there for tourists there? What is there for somebody coming in that just wants to experience Uganda? What things would you recommend for someone like that?
Somewhere to take the kids, take the family.
Your husband, your wife. What is there to do there? Well, there's like water parks here. You can actually really nice ones. I was surprised. I thought they would be worse than they are. There's like, you can do parks. They have those. They have safaris. We went zip lining. It was so fun. Our 4-year-old zip lined by himself. I was terrified, but it was good. So we did zip lining.
Bungee jumping, all the like adventure stuff. They have camping, which we'll experience during Feast of Tents. We'll do that, and yeah, they just mainly outdoorsy stuff is what they have a lot of. But they also have like clubs if you're into that. A lot of clubs if you're into that. One person described Kampala as club friendly from Monday to Monday. So they have lots of people who like to go out.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Okay.
Really quickly, someone asked, do they have recycling businesses there?
No, they are in desperate need of. Well, they have recycling. Let me not say that, but the process is antiquated. So, for instance, when our trash guy comes, if a truck pulls up, they break the bags open and they sort it themselves, sitting like right there on the curb. And they, put the trash on one side of the truck and the recycling on the other side of the truck before they roll out to the next location. So if you could figure out a way to make that process better, you could make really good money here. Or just simply having trash pickup like in the bins. I don't know if like in the US, the trash truck pulls up and like the whole bin goes up and into the trash can or into the big trash truck. Something like that would be great. So a lot of the things they might have the industry, but they do it in a way that is labor intensive. So if you could figure out how to, I don't know, automate the process in any kind of way, that would make it better. Like, for instance, you can't even pump your own gas here. They still have gas attendants who pump your gas for you.
Right.
Yeah, we have that in Tanzania as well.
So, I heard you say that they have like or outdoorsy things. They have parks and different things like that you can go to, but that's pretty much it for leisure there.
They got more there than they got here.
Right.
They
Because we
have
only
golf
have pretty much
courses.
safaris and restaurants.
They have golf
Say that
courses. They
again?
have country clubs. They have a lot of things.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I guess they got one leg up on
Yes.
Tanzania.
Yeah.
So, someone asked, can you ship a car from America to either Tanzania or Uganda? I can say, as far as Tanzania, yes, you can ship a car from the U.S. to Tanzania.
Right.
It is expensive. Well, I don't know. It may not be expensive for everybody, but for
us,
some people, it can be expensive. It can be on up to about 10 grand to ship your vehicle over here.
right.
I'm
Also,
not sure about Uganda.
yeah. Also, in Tanzania, your car has to meet certain criteria because it is right side drive here in Tanzania. Is it right side drive in Uganda as well?
Mm-mm. No, you can. They prefer right
so
side. Most cars are, but most cars are also imported from Japan. So, no, I've
Yeah.
seen Fords. I've seen any kind of car you can imagine. I've seen it. And so I've seen right and left side.
Okay.
You can do that. Here, if you're importing, there's a 17% tax. And we actually had planned on importing our Suburban because we were like, oh yeah, our big family, we need a Suburban. I don't know how we would have got around in that big old car here. But in our brain, it sounded great. But what happened? So one thing that killed it was that it was a 2007, and you can't import anything here that's older than 2008.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. That's interesting.
Gotcha.
Okay. Cool. So
You have any more?
I had a question, but I can't think of it right now. But that's really cool to know. It's glad that we have, I think you're like the second or third one we've heard about going to Uganda. So I'm starting to hear more people. Sorry about that. We are back. People talk about other, African nations other than the normal ones that we hear about. So, yeah, we doing a disappearing act for real over here. We're magicians tonight. So.
Yes, Baba, this is definitely a first. I don't know what is going on. So let me just say this real quick. First of all, to our guest, we truly apologize. This has never happened where our internet has been in and out like this.
Never.
But I thank you for you just enjoying it and being there for us when we got kicked out of our own show. I don't know, but thank you.
Yeah,
that's all good.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, look, we might have to do a part 2 to this when Julius gets back anyway.
Right.
Okay.
We'll do a 2-year update.
Yeah.
A 2-month update.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be great. Like what?
Yes.
Yeah, because
somebody said it sounds like IT is needed.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Yes,
Oh my
IT
gosh.
is definitely needed over here.
Yes.
Oh man.
So, sis, I want to say I love to hear more about Uganda, but obviously this ain't the time for it. So I hope we can connect and talk more about Uganda. And I know that you guys are going to be starting a YouTube channel. But for anybody that's thinking about Uganda, I would love to know if they can somehow connect with you guys somehow. If they reach out, if they can connect to you, you can tell them more about Uganda. Because you guys have already taken some of the bumps. So,
right.
Yeah.
And in the description box, I put your guys' contact information. So if somebody wants to reach out to you guys.
yes.
So guys, in the description box of this video will be our sisters and brothers' contact information. You guys can reach out to them. And please, when their YouTube channel starts, click the like, subscribe, and share button all day on their videos.
Thank you.
And so we're going to get ready to get off of here before we get kicked out again. But remember, guys, Stepping Stones to Home, we do have our NGO, Tsiyon Urban Development. And go on our website, check out some of the things that we're doing. If you want to become a supporter, go ahead and reach out and become a supporter for some of the activities that we have going on here. And sis, as soon as y'all get everything up and going, we'll make sure that we're promoting y'all's business. For people who are coming to Uganda to support you all, because we have to support each other here on the continent. So
what you talking about? I'm about to order some sausage. They just a ferry ride away from us.
I told you, sis, don't forget about us over here in Tanzania.
Look, it's just a ferry ride.
We'll come see y'all, I promise.
Look, y'all be prepared. Y'all gonna see us our first video in Uganda eating a sausage. So
yes. So y'all, seriously, sis, we're gonna get y'all back on here once we get our internet situated.
Yeah.
So we can talk some more, because I've never really checked out Uganda like that. So you got me kind of interested in Uganda just because it's right next door, so it's a place to go visit sometimes, Yeah. So, you have anything?
No, I'm just ready to go get my Tiger Woods on. Okay, let me stop. I can't play golf. I can't play golf.
Man.
But I want to thank you again. What she said? How long is the ferry? So for us, we're in Tonga, so we would have to drive.
Just the ferry.
Oh, just the ferry ride? I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's like a 30 minutes.
No, I thought I heard. I don't know. Baba, do you know how? If you're still in the chat, do you know how long the ferry ride is? Let's see if he answers, because I'm not sure. But the ferry ride is from Lake Victoria.
Yeah, through Lake Victoria from
Tanzania,
up in the Mwanza area. Yeah. I think it might be, because the ferry doesn't go real fast, so it probably could be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, possibly.
Lake Victoria is.
That's just me taking a guess.
Yes, it is. It's like the ocean.
Yeah. So. All right, well, I see our thing is spinning on our side, so it might kick us out. So, family, thank you again. Everyone, please leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed to our channel,
It's a what?
No, okay, so
Wait, the
No.
ferry ride.
sorry. So our
My
friend
husband said
Baba,
it's
he
3
said
hours.
from where we are, yeah. So from where we are in Tonga to drive to Mwanza and then get the ferry, it's probably about 11 hours, is what he's saying.
Are you sure that's what he's saying?
Yeah, because Julius is saying he
It's
heard it's about 3 hours.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a drive from where we are, because we're right on the Indian Ocean. So we would have to drive inland to Mwanza to get there. So that's still not bad.
No, it's
but
not,
we'll
not
be
really.
there. So again, everyone, yeah. Thank you guys. Julius, we look forward to seeing you next time. I know you're busy handling your business, sir. I appreciate what you do. You be safe, and you get back over here as soon as you can.
Yes. So we
Yes.
love you guys, and until next time, we'll have our internet fixed.
Yes. All right, since we're gonna keep you in the background for a minute, all right?
Okay, bye guys.
All right, family. Shalom.
Yeah, we'll return again. This captivity ain't permanent, no. I'm from Jerusalem. Hey, we'll return again. This captivity ain't permanent.